tripping over my props here. Got a for rent sign. Now, today, the rental game has changed from when I first got in it. When I first got in it, we would use a sign. This is how we'd get renters. You had a sign to the newspaper, so newspaper, right? And then 3 word of mouth, WOM. These were the 3 ways you rented a property. Today, I would say 90% of it is online. I use Zillow. Doesn't come without problems, Zillow. We own the stock, we trade the stock, but we use the stock. I use it in my business. I use Zillow Rental Manager. I use Zillow Property Management. Has a lot of features. They're trying to do things to be involved in this business. There's all kinds of online stuff to assist you in renting a sign, which is driving traffic to your property. Now, the other day I had a couple legit real estate investors. I mean, there's hundreds of properties between the 4 of us. And the cool thing was everybody did it slightly different, man. There's no right or wrong way. You know, there's people that can do this shit in RV parks. They can do it in trailer parks. They can do it in storage sheds. They can do it in mobile homes. They can do it in Section 8. They can do it single family. They can do it multifamily. They can do it in short-term rental properties. There's all kinds of shit. One of those works in your area. One of those works in your area, I assure you. Now, the basic concept and the 4 ways that you make money, pretty simple. You got to have this internalized. Cash flow. That's how much you make after your expenses. What are your expenses? Taxes, mortgage, insurance, and maintenance. If you finance the house, right, you got to service that. You're going to carry insurance. That's cost of doing business. You're going to have, you're going to have to treat for bugs. You're going to have to fix a table. You're going to have to fix a light. You're going to call a plumber. You're going to have to call a roof light. Shit's going to happen. Maintenance cost, right? So we got cash flow. That's what's left. We got mortgage. What do you mean by mortgage? Mortgage pay down. Meaning every month that you maintain this property, you do your job, the renter does their job, the loan gets paid down. So the mortgage bang down. Tax depreciation. One home, a house, gets depreciated over 27.2 years, okay? Meaning, so if it's 100, basically 3%. So if it's a $100,000 house, you get to depreciate $3,000 a year against cash flow. Depreciation is against cash flow. So if you had a $3,000 cash flow profit because of depreciation, you would have no profit. Now, what if you multiply that times 20? This is meaning you're making money you don't even pay taxes on, and it's totally legal. It's in the tax code. They want you to do this. When you get a lot of money that you don't pay taxes on, it's like having even more money. In other words, if you make $3,500 and you got to pay a 20% tax, what is that? Right? Well, that's going to be $700 off the top to the tax man, right? Subtract that. What does that leave? $2,800. I'm doing rough math here. So how much more valuable would this $3,500 be if you paid no taxes versus just earning it where you do pay taxes? $700 difference. Multiply that times a year times a unit. You can see how understanding tax depreciation and properly doing it can make you a lot of money. Price appreciation. Some areas in our country have gone up 5, 10, 15, 20%. Everybody's waiting for a crash. I don't know when there's going to be a crash. All I know is over my lifetime, real estate tends to go up in value. I want to pass the cost of the mortgage, the tax depreciation, and the CapEx and the repairing off to someone else. Now, when we do this, when we go about doing this, okay, that's the four ways you're going to make money. But before you can make money, what do you got to do? Come on, man. What is it? You got to find a property, right? Yes or no? Right, of course. You got to find a property, right? You got to find the right property. The right property at the right terms at the right price. It's got to be the right one, okay? And this is where we learn our numbers. So when I'm running filters on realtor.com, on Zillow, I don't want to spend time looking at houses I can't afford, man. We need to look at some shit we can actually move on. So what's a deal that we can do? If you ever notice, I talk about the 2-1. Why did I do the 2-1? Because it was the lowest entry point. I could actually execute on it. I could do it. I could paint it. I could work on it. I could fix it. It wasn't that big. If I got the wrong property, it wasn't going to kill me. So I was looking for these small 800 to 1,200 square foot homes. right? Find the right property. That's the right property for me. That's what I can handle. Now, when I find the right property, what I got to do, I got to analyze it, right? I got to analyze it. Is it a good property? Is it going to work? That's about running these numbers. Part of analyzation is, what is the rent in the area? What street is it on? Is this a class B, D? Is this ghetto? Is it dangerous? Or is it just low income? Or is it middle class? Is it upper middle class? Is it high echelon? Is it elite? Is it super fancy? I have from one extreme to the other. Like, I have houses that are in rough areas, and then I have beachfront property. They're all different. Serve a different purpose, expect a different return. They cost different. They have different risk associated with them, different tax depreciation laws associated with them, different mortgage lending laws associated with them, different risk return, okay? So you want to find a property, means you got to be able to analyze the property and understand the property you're analyzing, right? Once we do that and we find one that meets our criteria, we got to be able to buy it. What does that mean? Usually means you got to get pre-approved for a loan, right? So go see some lenders, right? So go see some lenders, man. Go see some lenders. What are they going to want to know? Your credit score. What's your credit score? Means you need to know your credit score. That's your financial reputation. It doesn't do any good to go find a property, analyze the property, and then get to the point where you can buy it and you got a 500 credit score. So you got to get to work on that. You control that. You get on it. You can get it fixed. I know many people I got divorced, had bad credit, turned it around. You can get divorced, have bad credit. That's all fixable. But you got to keep your word and you got to commit to it, okay? So we can learn how to find a property. We can learn how to analyze the property. We know what our mortgage is going to be. You can guesstimate it. They got mortgage calculators. You know what the taxes are in here. You can just fucking Google it. You know basically what the insurance would be. You can call an insurance company, give them the address, say, I'm thinking about buying this. Can you give me a quote of what it would be? You know, and they're going to give you the rundown. And don't get aggravated. Listen and learn and call back and try it and email. Like, figure it out, man. And you figure out how the tax system works. And now we're going to buy it. And they're going to want 2 years probably of tax returns. If you're self-employed, they're going to want to see your accounts. They need to make sure you're not full of shit, dude. Which means you just need 24 months of being a good person. You know, good credit, paying your bills, earning money. You need to be an earner. Banks are investing 80% of their money into you, man. You want to get rich? You need to be investable. You want to get rich? You need to be investable. Meaning I should want to invest in you, right? That's what the banks are going to do when you talk about buying. They need to make sure you're investable. Now, once you get a house, this is what scares people. Now they got to run it. Oh no, they might call me. Now you get to collect money, man. Now this is yours. You're in charge. You decide what happens. You decide the color. You decide what electrician, what plumber, what type of flooring, the paint, the locks in the front, the kind of AC. You decide. You're the king. You're the queen. You manage it. This is your money. This is your money. You decide the return you're going to get. Sweat equity, or do you hire someone, right? Hire a manager, or you manage it. Use fucking common sense. I don't live in Florida. I have properties in Florida. I'm not there that often. I need to hire a manager. I need to pay someone, give them a cut of the game, and anticipate that. So when I'm looking for a property, I'm looking for a property that I think, based on my analyzation, will generate enough money that I can afford to, one, buy it, but two, afford to what? Pay for a manager. So I need to take this into account. I'm looking for that. I only want to buy ones that do that, right? So every property I buy needs to produce cash flow, pay down the loan, be tax depreciable, and appreciate. It must meet all four of those criteria. And this is how we're going to do it. We start with finding, looking, going to the MLS, going to realtors, meeting people out and about, driving around your neighborhood. Push your intent, and then you leave the house and you go out and you start looking. And everyone you meet, hey, I buy rental properties. I'm a real estate investor. Help me find a house so I can help you. And then I'll analyze it. Don't worry about it. Let me do that. Practice that in bed. Lay in bed, pull up LoopNet. Look at 5, 10 unit apartment buildings. Look at how much they want for it. Look how much they want down. How much would you get in return? Go in and look at the pictures, the kitchens, the bathrooms, and think, man, I could fix these up one at a time. Oh, I could fix up that parking lot. I could invest my own money, make a brand new parking lot. I could cover it. Now I'm going to raise it, bump the rents a little. And over time, I could push on this place, grow it out. What? Other people create cash flow. I roll that. What? We got mortgage. We get to depreciate it. What? It's going to appreciate. And as I push on it, what? I can build equity, man. By what? Raising my hand, saying, I'll be in charge of that. It's responsibility, which is number 4, managing it. So we got to find it, we got to analyze it, we got to buy it, and then we got to manage it, right? So if you got a 10 unit building, you got to collect 10 rent checks. So what happens on the 4th when they ain't paid you? You send out letters, meaning you have systems, you have strategy. This is what we do. And then what if they don't pay? Shit, push them. Take their ass to court. Go find a procedure in your area. Maybe you need to get an attorney for a minute. I don't know. You don't need to have any worries about suing. Sue the fuck out of people. If they don't meet their obligation, you sue them. You're the landlord. It's your responsibility. You're supposed to collect the money so you can pay the bank, so you can pay the government, so they can pay for schools and railroads and police departments. That person, they didn't pay on their end of the contract. It's your job to enforce the contract. That's not a bad thing. That's a good thing. That's how we pay for society. People are supposed to keep their word, even renters. So you're not doing something wrong, you're doing something right, man. You're the backbone of this country. Push on them. It's an honorable thing being a landlord, but it's not easy. Otherwise, everybody would be one. Number 5, you got to grow this. So once you internalize the 4 ways you make money, cash flow, mortgage, tax depreciation, price appreciation. Once you internalize that and you understand this and you get the math, that's going to help you find deals and analyze those deals. Because you understand you got to hit each of these. You got to have cash flow. We can argue about how much, but you got to have at least $1, right? You got to have financing. You got to have a mortgage, right? That's going to allow you to leverage yourself. You're going to get to depreciate it. So that makes the cash flow tax free. That's why you want at least $3,000 a year on $100,000. $100,000 in a house gives you $3,000 in tax depreciation. You want at least that for cash flow. You want to at least earn the maximum you can tax-free, right? If that's your standard, man, you're good. That means even if you make 100, if you make 200, 300, 400, whatever you're making is tax-free. So the government don't get any of it, right? And then someone else pays down the loan. That's your money. So when $50, $100 goes to the principal, it goes down, that's in your pocket. Multiply that times 12 months, multiply that by 12 years, and at the same time, the house appreciates, plus you were putting money in your pocket. Now go do this deal 10 times. That's how you get rich, man. This is how people get rich, bro. This is how people get rich, bro. This, right here. You gotta find it, you gotta analyze it, you gotta buy it, you gotta manage it, and then what? Number 5, do it again. Grow. Do what you just did 5 times, 10 times, 15 times, 20 more times. Namaste.